All right, guys, welcome back. So let's take a quick look at the daily chart here. I've really expanded it and just put this ring on here. We've got our old ring, which we have had for I believe ever it was on there, and we're going to just talk about our whole August forecast. So let's just put our other ring on here and let's reacquaint ourselves with Bitcoin. So we've had these terrific tops. As you can see, our second ring has confirmed and crossed over here. We've been in the meat of this ring. And don't forget, these rings act as support. So we just broke through and we just wicked down. We went halfway into a ring. So when we move into the halfway points, that's a serious point, just like these ones here. So presently, we've moved down three more rings, and we're approaching our target area. I have around 13,000 around this late end of the year period. We've been talking about this in the previous tutorials, and this ring comes down, of course, from our top, and it is holding us right now. So we have a ring that's our secondary ring that is our new next top. And I think that for August, we're probably going to see this 25,000 area. If we were to break above this, which is this 28, which would be a very tough area, that's a lot of resistance. However, we could do that. We could certainly swing up to this area, the mid part of early to mid part of August. Excuse me. And we could see easily a top up to there. Is that going to happen? Well, not necessarily. But let's go take a look at our August forecast, what we think maybe it could do. Let's maybe make it a little bit nicer on the eyes. So make it a little bigger. Just going to bring it in here. And we're going to talk about some possible trajectories where we could see Bitcoin make a move up to. So right now we're saying that there's a lot of resistance on this ring. If we look across here, we have a lot of resistance right here. We just fell through that like nothing, so barely hung around one day and then that was it. It's over. So I expect that we could have some resistance here. However, and I was calling for a top here on my August for the 4th, and then we could certainly go up to around the 15th, and could probably see the 26 to almost 27 level for sure, and then wick down. And I expect that we could probably come back down to an area like this, rest on one of these old tops here, on the 27th to the 30th. Right, so that's my prognosis there for the summer dead cat bounce sucker rally. So let's just pay attention to that. We could certainly move the tool, you know, and identify that. But again, here's our resistance levels. So let's just see if it's going to break above that for now. And let's go take a look at another tool where we have our bad news bears channel. It's there it is right there. There's that bad news bears channel. So we could actually move that data point to there, but it hasn't broke above really yet. So right now we're still going to just keep that intact. It's barely broke above it. It's got through this, but it hasn't moved up. So there's a terrific amount of resistance at this level. This is a really excellent level to short. I have several short positions. I got kind of booted out of one, and when it came back here, so re-entered another short position here for 25,000. I think it's 450 or something like that. Anyways, so we're just going to watch that level right there. That seems like a sensible level. The square of nine shows that from 17,500. Those that looked at the last tutorial on the square of nine, it's 17,500. To go halfway around or one square would certainly encompass and take us all the way up to 25, I believe, 26. So we can certainly see that. That's no problem at all. And, 25,600 would be exactly 180 degrees on the square of nine. So we talked about that in the last tutorial as well on that one. So we'll pay attention to that as well. Now, moving forward, we're going to do more tutorials in the weeks to come, and we just have to pay attention to what's going on. This summer sucker rally is certainly. I'm stating that we could have a summer sucker rally to the end of September, and probably fall back down and maybe retest this ring or possibly this ring, and then come back up, and somehow we may end up somewhere around this area. This is an anniversary date. Last year we had, our big top at 69,000, which is in line on the square nine with the numbers we've been talking about, and certainly 13,000 and 5,000 are our targets too, but 28 and especially 25 right now. So we're going to watch this. If we can break above this, then we're going to muscle our way somewhere up to here. Can that happen? Well, Bitcoin is a very volatile asset, so we're going to just watch it. We're going to just put all our tools on there. We're going to make sure that we update them. We keep them, keep them straight on there. We're not going to deviate. We're going to watch our other indicators. What's our Let's go take a look at those. Right, I can hear everybody talking right now. Where's the indicators? Well, let's go take a look at them. It's a good question. Let's just make them a little bigger here so we can enjoy them. Well, look at that. Our RSI is coming up to toppy levels. It wants to come up and push some more. So it's saying between this 4th and 15th we could have another rollover there. So we've had a dead cat, we've got a death cross right here in our stochastics that showed up, and we've got a triple top. So looks like we're going to try to maybe move up again and retest that. Looks like the sellers have come in now on our accumulation and distribution. Looks like the sellers have, they just kind of wanted to step in here. How long? We'll see. We might have a quick turnaround here and a sucker, right, and just have a bounce up right here like this. So we're going to watch all this. This could certainly, we've got a death cross, but we don't have a confirmation that it's going to keep moving down. So it's possible we're going to retest this. Certainly, we could come back on the 4th instead of try to make our top. We could make a quick little sharp little bottom here, retest our area right here. Certainly, we could do that. We could do that, no problem. We could just come right back, sit right down on here. We have a convergence point right here on this 7th, 8th, so this would work perfectly. So now, keep in mind that our bear market structure is intact still, so we would have to move our tool should it change, and this be our new top. We would have to watch our next convergence point at the mid or end point or third part of August. So we're going to watch all this. So we're looking for tops around the middle part of August for 26 to 27,000 possibly, and then swings down to the 27th, down to possibly 23,000. We could easily come back to 21, but 23, sit down in this area. It's possible we can do that. Be more likely that we'll retest these areas. let's see what will happen. And we were talking about this the last time that we would have a possible topping area around the 8th and continue to maybe persist on to around the 12th. And this has done that. And so we're in our summer sucker rally. We're in a dead cat bounce. We're continuing on with this. And it's not so much a dead cat bounce as really it's really kind of marching and kind of walking up. And we know what happens, right? When you walk up the mountain, you fall down quick, right? You take the elevator down when you walk up, right? Take the stairs up, you walk, take the elevator down, That's how these things move. So we could have a big fake out, especially around this, around this ring in this area around the 15th. And if we don't get above this and sit on top of this and get some muscle, it's possible we just keep chewing away sideways. We just, we just keep chewing away. And is that going to happen? Well, not necessarily. Now, on the 27th, I was calling obviously for lower prices, much lower prices. In my last few tutorials, I've really been calling for, you know, a lot lower prices. But we've just had this incredible, slow grinding move up. So it's kind of almost a fake out here that everyone is realizing it's a bottom and a buy of a lifetime and whatnot. So is it? Well, see what happens around this ring because as we were talking earlier, whoops, let's just bring that back into view again. So as we were talking earlier, this wick down here, this last one, this was a pretty substantial one. And we didn't really respect it much. We fell right down to it and then just blasted through. So looks like there's something going on in around this area. So let's just pay attention to that, and we'll just update as the week goes by, and we'll see you along. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, these are all these updates that I give you, and all these dates. You can look back in my tutorials, and I'm nailing all the dates I'm talking about. So you know what I'm talking about, right? I have good data, you know, and it's all just derived from using WD Gann, watching him and listening to his stuff. I have all his tutorials and all his books and whatnot about projections. So, are we going to have a late October top and then a pullback? It's sure looking like we're going to do that, and then it just gets really wide at the end of the year here at this anniversary top, right where these three convergences are. So, is that what's going to happen? Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So, what were we talking about for bottoms? Well, we were talking that, you know, we have some dates we have to watch out for this December here, and that's right over here in our 13,000 level, right, and that's an 82% level. So, and I'm thinking we're gonna just retest this. For some reason, we're gonna have this big pullback in 47. So, is that gonna happen? Well, I don't know. That's a pretty long way down there now. You know, it's right down to our next projection line here. 47 is there's our red line, right? Right, and here's our ring. So there's our ring, folks. And our ring crosses in November when this one crosses over. You know, right here. So looks like a lot of confluence. So we're just going to watch that. And we have July, don't forget. And that's our 27 month. And this is all just from our first top, which is our April top. We talked about that. And this is what we're going to talk about right here real quick so you guys get an idea. So there's our first top. There's April. So we could certainly see that level achieved. You know, moving out forward. You know, these this is the old this blue line is the old top at 40,000. So and it converges right down here. It's pretty darn low, folks. And don't forget, here's our ring. Our good old ring is coming on down here, and it slams down. So, and then here's our bear market channel. It's reaching down here to here. So we certainly can move further down. So we have a confluence here in our March 2023. So in between our July, and that's from our second top here in November. And don't forget now, we still have 20 and 27 months from that second top, which is going to take us out to, again, our July period, which coincides with our 27-month here on our first top. And that could easily take us down into the February 24. So, that's quite a ways out too. We're not out of the woods by a long shot. We gotta get by this February period here, right? We gotta get back up and get away from all this stuff here. We have to get above this and stay above this. We have to. This is our last resort red line from our bottom in 2011. This is the lowest trend line that is in angular proximity to all of our other trend lines. So this represents a very low point. So if we can't get above this March April period here in 2023, you know, and our last thing is you know February, and that's going to be it's going to need to be up here, you know, it's going to need to be up here. We need to have to get up to this. But of course, we have our trusty ring, and this ring has, of course, it's hit our old bottom, right? Our pandemic bottom here, right? Hit our old pandemic bottom, and it slammed into our old top, right here, slammed into it, and this comes through. So we have a lot of confluence, So is that going to happen? Look at all this. We could certainly come down into all these areas, no problem, no problem. February, we could just stick around in all these areas for so long, man. Especially if we lose this line. If we lose this, it's over. Like it's really down low. You know, we haven't seen this low prices to here since the pandemic. You know, right here. This ring caught it. So let's just we're just going to be mindful of what we can expect, right? So probably go, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff in the way. So we just have to be mindful about what we're seeing. That's all. So I thought I'd share this ring theory with you because this big ring is from our main bottom way back. We talked about this. This is back to 2011, and this bullseye has caught us this last couple of years here. So, and we have a big ring that's caught our top. So I'm very convinced that we're following this downward trajectory until we can manage to bottom out on more heavily lined. This is a pretty good bottom. We have achieved this, but I'm still not convinced it's cheap enough for the average person to buy. So hopefully you like and subscribe. This is our August trajectory. I know we went into a large in-depth, but I thought it would be very beneficial for you. Like and subscribe. We'll see you again. Thank you.